everyone, my name's Kaz and this is my reading vlog for the Shelf Love Crate Readathon of 2019. So it is currently the 12th of May. This readathon is starting on the 13th. I've got about 2.5 hours until it officially begins, but I wanted to sit down today and start this video because I had a couple of things that I wanted to do before the readathon began. The lovely folks at Shelf Love Crate are sponsoring this video, and as part of my participation in this sponsorship and during the readathon, they sent me one of their recent exclusive books as well as a readathon kit. So all the things I'm gonna need to survive this readathon. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this and see what goodies I've got to use throughout this readathon, which I'm really excited about. Oh, that's so sweet. So there's a postcard with a little letter from the team at Shelf Love Crate, which is cool. Ooh, what is this? Oh, it's a book sleeve. I love me a book sleeve. Ever since these things popped up, I've been consistently using them. I love book sleeves. They're so great for protecting your books, especially if you carry one round with you everywhere, which I do because I commute 2 hours per day for work, so that's precious reading time. So now I've got my official Shelf Love Crate Readathon book sleeve. Next up, we've got something in a box. I'm guessing it's a mug. Oh wow, look at that. This is gorgeous. Official mug of the readathon, hell yeah. There's also a candle, so I can really get in the reading mood. Honor Above Life, made exclusively for Shelf Love Crate. Ooh, there's glitter as well, look at that. Ooh. Oh, that smells so good. To go perfectly alongside the mug, there is also a coaster which says, I am lightning made flesh, colder than falling snow, unstoppable as the desert sands riding the wind. That's a really cool quote. Also, really epic image on that one as well. Oh my gosh, okay. Also, to go perfectly with the mug, there is Selena's chocolate mug cake mix. I love mug cakes. I'm really excited to use this. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have such a great time with all of this. Ooh, we also have some socks. May the odds be ever in your favor. So we have some Hunger Games socks. So these are gonna keep my toesies really nice and warm. The weather has been cooling down quite a bit down in Australia, so these are going to come in handy for sure. Oh, this is also going to be really useful. We've got a little book review notepad. So it has information like the title, author, star rating, things I like, didn't like, overall review, quotes, favorite characters. And then there's also a little quote on the side which says, what happens in book club stays in book club. That is cool. We've also got what I assume is a sticker, which is a little bookshelf. Oh my gosh, and it has a bunch of books on it that I definitely recognize. Six of Crows, Jane Eyre, Throne of Glass, Fangirl, Fault in Our Stars. We've also got a couple of bookmarks, so if I lose one, I've got another one. First up, we have this really gorgeous bookmark, and it also has that same Shelf Love Crate illustration on the back. Battery just died, but continuing on. The other bookmark features some character art and a quote from The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And this one says, you're playing the great game of kings and princes, of queens and crowns, aren't you? And then a really cool illustration on that side. This bookmark also feels really nice. It's quite thick, which I really like. It feels really sturdy and like it's not going to get bent up and destroyed when I'm using it every single day. So big fan of that. The final thing included in the lovely readathon kit from Shelf Love Crate is the book, which is Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller. And this is one of the books I'm going to be reading during the readathon, which I'm so excited about. So I think it's kind of a Viking-inspired fantasy, which sounds really, really cool. And I haven't read anything by Trisha Levenseller before, but I've heard good things about her other series with Daughter of the Pirate King. Oh my goodness. How stunning is this? Oh my gosh, so on the inside of the dust jacket, oh, what? Holy moly. That is so cool. Also, absolutely terrifying. That like crocodile, alligator, whale thing is the stuff of nightmares. It's also signed from the author. It says, be a warrior. So excited to dive into this one. And it's not quite as large as I was expecting either. It's a little over 300 pages. So definitely a good kind of size for a readathon. And that's, I think, everything from Shelf Love Crate. So huge thank you to Shelf Love Crate for all of these goodies and also for sponsoring this video. I'm so excited because hello readathons, this is my jam. The next order of business is to figure out what book or books I'm going to be reading first. And I say books because I will likely pick a physical book and an audiobook to start at the same time. In terms of audiobooks, I'm actually thinking of going with Dreams of Gods and Monsters, because this month I'm reading that book for the Daughter of Smoke and Bone read-along, and one of my co-hosts, Cassie, said that the audiobooks for this series are really, really good. So she recommended listening to it if I could. Physical books, however, you know what? I'm going to start with Warrior of the Wild because it's handy, it's near me. I think the rest of the books are packed up in a box somewhere because I'm currently moving. Well, I've moved, but I'm unpacking. And it's not too big either, so I feel like I'll be able to finish this one relatively quickly and feel like I'm really kickstarting the readathon with a good amount of progress. So book one is going to be this book. This is very exciting. I cannot wait. The readathon's going to begin soon, and I've got a lot of awesome reading ahead of me. So I hope you guys enjoy this reading vlog. So I'm over at my friend's place at the moment, just poured myself a glass of gin. Everyone else has actually gone out to pick up dinner whilst I was buying the drinks. So while I'm waiting for them to get back, I'm going to continue reading some more of Warrior of the Wild. I started reading this on my way to work today and I've gotten about 100 pages through so far, which is really good. And then I have been listening to Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I think I'm a little bit over an hour into Dreams of Gods and Monsters, so a little bit of progress there. It is quite a long audiobook, but yeah, I'm excited to continue reading this one. It's really interesting so far, and I'm so curious to see where it goes. I'm anticipating things are going to get real cray-cray. Day 2 of the readathon, and I thought I would give you a bit of an update how things are going so far. Yesterday I read a little bit more of The Warrior of the Wild before everyone came back, and then we watched Game of Thrones, which was a thing. That episode made me quite mad, not gonna lie, but that's a different discussion. And then today I am working from home, so I was doing a DIY video, and so far it's been a little bit of a fail, but that's okay. While I was doing a lot of that, I have been listening to some more of Dreams of Gods and Monsters, and I've gotten through about this much of the book so far, so 220 pages all up. The rest of the day, I'm actually going to head down to the beach and take some photos because we got in the 20th anniversary editions of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And before I finished up at Bloomsbury, I wanted to take some like beachy photos. First book of the readathon complete. I just finished reading Warrior of the Wild this very minute, and as for what book is it? Oh my gosh, it's Friday, it's 12:30 a.m. How am I still awake? Okay, so I'm 12 hours into Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I've got 6 hours left, which I should hopefully finish over the weekend. But as for the next physical book I'm going to read, I think I'm going to pick up The Prince and the Dressmaker because I want to read something a little more light. It's a graphic novel. I've been dying to read this for ages, so I'm going to pick that up, and then I'll dive into something a little more substantial later. But it's time for bed now. I'm going to go. Bye. 12:30 on Saturday, and I thought I would do a bit of an update. I am quite sleepy at the moment, I'm not gonna lie, but I still have so much to do today, so I've got to be productive. But first of all, let's talk about what I've read so far and how I've been doing. I think the last time I actually spoke was when I'd just finished Warrior of the Wild, and I wanted to give just a brief overview of my thoughts on the book. So that one's like a Viking-inspired fantasy about a main character who at the start of the book is going through this trial to become a warrior and therefore an adult in her village. Something happens at the trial and she ends up being exiled into the wild and is trying to figure out how to survive in the deadly wilderness. It was honestly so much fun. I had a really fun time reading the book. The side characters were totally my favorite part of it. Soren and Eric were awesome. I loved the banter between the two. There's a lot of tension going on, but I also really liked seeing all of the relationships develop and progress. The book was quite short and it was certainly easy to read, but I would have preferred if maybe there was like an extra 50 pages just to give a little bit more development in certain areas, like fleshing out some of those changing relationships a little bit more, because sometimes things shifted quite quickly. I liked the changes, but I just wanted to see a little bit more going into it, and also maybe like popping a couple extra obstacles in the way, because like it's not like the characters have it easy. They're out in the wild fighting to survive, but when any like major obstacles come up, they have to fight for it, but they do get by pretty easy without any like major consequences, or they're not faced with something and it's like one step forward, two steps back or anything. I don't know, I was just expecting to see a little bit more failure or major setbacks, besides obviously with the trial. But yeah, so like it was definitely a lot of fun, but lacked a little bit of substance here and there. But I would definitely still recommend it. It's a great read for a readathon because you can read it really fast. It's a lot of fun, super easy to read. Would recommend. Then, as you guys would have seen from previous clips, I finished The Prince and the Dressmaker. So I started reading it on the bus ride to work yesterday, and when I got to work I had about 10 pages to go, so obviously I had to go and finish it. It's so good. Do not sleep on this book. It is beautiful. It is a graphic novel about a prince and a dressmaker. Prince Sebastian, some days he feels more masculine, he feels more like Prince Sebastian. Other days he feels more like Lady Crystalia. So he's hired a dressmaker to basically make a bunch of gowns and amazing, edgy and fashionable dresses. Sebastian will go out sometimes with these amazing dresses and is basically a fashion icon in Paris, and it's so beautiful. I loved it. It was amazing. So after I finished reading the book in the morning at work, I raved about it to a couple of my co-workers. So I lent it to one of them. By lunchtime, she gave it back to me. She'd already finished. I then immediately lent it to another co-worker, and a couple hours later, she also came back to me having finished it. So 3 of us read that book by like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So beautiful. Please read it. It's wonderful. I'm also making more progress on Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I'm quite close to finishing, so I think I'll finish it today. I've also started reading 1,000 Beginnings and Endings? Is that what the book's called? The Anthology, which is the group book for the Asian Readathon, which I'm also participating in this month. So yeah, I've read a couple of the short stories so far. One of them was alright, the other one I enjoyed a lot more, and I'm just going to continue making some progress on that. But at the moment, I've not been super productive. I'm like mildly addicted to this game called Merge Dragons. So I've been playing that for the past hour or so. I'm going to wrap up this and then put on some makeup, fix up my hair, film a video for the Buy a New Bibliothon, and yeah, then get ready for this evening. So let me just not get too distracted by the game. I'll finish up playing this for now and then get ready.
But I'm pretty keen on its vessel too.
everyone. So it's 8 o'clock on Sunday. We're halfway through the readathon already. Oh my gosh, this has flown by so fast. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I felt kind of gross the entire day, but it was relatively productive as well, which is great. Getting a few things organized for book club stuff, and then I hosted a live show discussion with Samantha Shannon, who, if you don't know, is the author of The Prior of the Orange Tree, which is amazing. Definitely one of my faves of the year so far. And now I'm gonna go and make some dinner because I'm starving. And then I'm hopefully going to finish Daughter of Smoke and Bone tonight. I probably could have listened to the last hour or so of it as I was building a bedside table today, but I couldn't focus. So I'll do that tonight. I'm not 100% sure if this is microwave safe. I assume the mug is fine. I'm just not 100% sure how the illustration was applied and if that material is microwave safe. But I'm just gonna risk it anyway because it's only 1 minute in the microwave, so it should be fine, hopefully. As long as it tastes good, I'll be happy. I just realized this is a color changing mug. Oh my god. I don't think color changing stuff is microwave safe though. Now I feel dumb. I can't believe I never noticed that before. Well, that's beautiful, but let's... Oh, yum. Look at it. Oh my god, oh my god. It's so fluffy. It's so fluffy, I'm gonna die. I feel hella dumb not realizing that this was the color changing one. When I was making tea with this the other day, after I'd poured myself a cup of tea and I was putting it down on my bedside table, I remember thinking to myself, oh, there's color on here. It must have looked super like faded before, but I'm only just noticing now. I didn't put two and two together until just then. That's so cool though. Reading progress. So I'm slowly making my way through 1,000 Beginnings and Endings. I think I've read about 4 of the stories so far, and it's going pretty well. And I finished reading Dreams of Gods and Monsters today. I don't quite know how I feel about it. I think of the 3 books that I've read, it's probably the one I've enjoyed the most, but also I listened to the audiobook for it versus reading the physical copy for books 1 and 2, and I do find that my reading experience can differ quite a bit between the audio and the physical formats, especially since with the first 2 I was struggling a little bit with the pacing and getting a bit bored. So having someone read it to me, it was, you know, a little bit easier to keep a more consistent pace because the narrator was setting the pace for me. I didn't stop and start as much as I would if I had read the physical book, I think. So I still need to kind of sleep on that and see exactly how I feel about it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my mug cake. I'm trying to figure out when Alex gets home because it's Game of Thrones season finale night. I have a sneaking suspicion he's not going to get home till really late. So, but I really want to watch the episode because I've already been fucking spoiled for something, which I'm real mad about. I've done so good so far. But anyway, reading and eating. Hello everyone. It has been a couple of days since I've updated you, and that's because I haven't done too much reading so far. So Tuesday I might have done a little bit of reading for 1,000 Beginnings and Endings on the way to work, but that was my last day at Bloomsbury. It still hasn't quite hit me, but after work on the Tuesday, I had my farewell. So I had a couple of drinks and grabbed some food and then just wasn't in the right headspace to jump into a book on the way home. So I didn't read. And then yesterday, Wednesday, I was really busy packing. I still have some stuff at my parents' place. So my days off this week before I start my new job at Hachette on Monday, I'm trying to pack up as much stuff as possible. And so yesterday I was packing up the rest of my books to go back to my new place. And then today I packed up all of these babies because I'm going to try sell them. I'm taking them to a used bookstore, and then anything that they don't want, I'm going to go and donate to Lifeline. I do need to head off in just a moment, but I thought I would update you and let you know that I have decided what audiobook to start next. I'm going to be listening to Empress of All Seasons, and I've decided to go with this one because even though it is like a high fantasy book, and I typically don't like to listen to high fantasy, I have already read half the book, so I feel like most of the actual world building and learning of new things, I'm already familiar with that. So it's just going to be kind of reacquainting myself with what's happened in the story so far, all of the details, and then continuing. So I think I read about half of it before. So I'm going to listen to that. It's about 10 hours long, and I'm doing a fair bit of driving today out to the bookstore, and then I need to go and exchange a few things, pick up some more stuff. So bit of driving, which means audiobook time.
This is Audible.
Empress of All Seasons.
Just finished 1,000 Beginnings and Endings, and overall I really enjoyed this. There were some really interesting stories in here. It was really cool to be introduced to, but also learn some more or see different interpretations of some of the myths from various Asian cultures. And yeah, I mean, obviously I liked some more than others, but overall very much enjoyed this one. I had misplaced this for a couple of days, but I had found my little book review notepad, so I'm going to continue filling this out. Earlier today I did finish listening to the audiobook for Empress of All Seasons. I'm unsure how I feel about Empress of All Seasons. Like, I did enjoy it, but I'm just not sure how satisfied I am with the ending. In some ways I am, in some ways I'm not. The ending wrapped up maybe a little too quickly for my liking, but I did kind of like how the note it ended on was kind of like, it gave it kind of like a myth or a legend. I don't know, that's just kind of like the atmosphere from the very end. I don't know, it was interesting. I am going to be making some more progress on this one this evening. For now, I'm going to continue writing up my little reviews of the books that I've read, and then dive into Deviate. And now the readathon has concluded. What a wild couple of weeks, not only because of the readathon, which I had a lot of fun doing. I'm so happy with how much I got read. It was a really good time reading the books as well, but it was also quite intense because, as you would have seen, I've been in the process of moving and unpacking, but also starting a new job. So the last day of the readathon was my first day at Hachette, and I didn't really have the chance to talk about it, but I will be filming a life update video. A lot of you guys asked me questions about what's been going on because I haven't been posting very frequently at all this year. So if you want to know a little bit more about all of that, look forward to that video. But yeah, this is what I managed to read during the readathon. I started and finished all of these books, and I also made pretty good progress on Deviate, and as I went I did kind of give you a bit of an idea of what I thought about the books, but I wanted to wrap up how I went in terms of the reading challenges. So in total there were 12 reading challenges. I managed to complete 8 of them, I believe. I did double up a couple of times, and I also tripled up, I think in one instance, for the challenges in order to complete them. Let's just start off the top with the book I did not finish and therefore did not complete the challenges, but I made some progress with them. So Deviate would have been for the challenges to read a book with cyborgs and to read a book featuring a character with an untapped ability. The Prince and the Dressmaker was for the challenge to read a book with royalty. Warrior of the Wild was for a book with Vikings, so this is a Viking inspired fantasy. I do also think that this is the book that the challenge was based on, because this is one of the Shelf Love Crate exclusives. 1,000 Beginnings and Endings. So this one was for a few challenges. We have characters from different backgrounds. This also works for a book featuring sisters and a book featuring star-crossed lovers. Empress of All Seasons is for a book with a trial or tournament. And then finally, Dreams of Gods and Monsters. This one is for a couple of challenges again, a book with magical creatures and a book with multiple perspectives. Lots of books read. I had a great time reading, a great time during the readathon, relaxing, but also doing a lot of other stuff as well. And that about wraps up this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, thank you Shelf Love Crate for sponsoring this video. I will see you very soon in a new video, but until then, I will talk to you in the comments. Bye!